This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. Let's get right to the latest on the coronavirus and its impact on Indiana. Today we learned Indiana's death toll from COVID-19 is now close to 1,600. That's 46 more deaths confirmed since yesterday. The number of confirmed cases in our state, more than 27,000. More than 171,000 people have been tested so far in Indiana. 2 Amazon employees in Indiana have died from COVID-19. One worked at a facility in Indianapolis. The other worked in Jeffersonville. In a statement, the company says the Indianapolis employee last worked on April 19th and did not show any symptoms at work. They learned of his death on April 30th. Amazon is spending $800 million on COVID-19 safety measures, which includes purchasing masks, hand sanitizer, thermometers, and other items for employees. Another big event that draws thousands of people to downtown Indianapolis has been postponed. The Holy Rosary Italian Street Festival, which was scheduled for June 12th and 13th, is postponed indefinitely due to concerns about COVID-19. Organizers say they will post updates to their Facebook page. Community Health Network CEO who's recovered from COVID-19 is donating plasma that will now go to help other patients battling the virus. Brian Mills tested positive for the coronavirus in March. He quarantined at his home while continuing to lead the healthcare system. He's now recovered and says he plans to donate plasma regularly. The antibodies in his plasma are expected to help other patients. Mills shared his feelings on being diagnosed and now being able to potentially help others.
I was never woe is me through this whole thing. It was like, this thing happened, okay, then I got to figure out what to do with it. But I will say that when I failed my second test, I was upset, not because I was still sick, but because I couldn't do this. And I'd set a goal to do that. So I was determined to somehow help others. And I'm still hopeful that my antibodies will be able to help somebody else that's going through a difficult situation.
Mills donated his plasma at Versity Blood Center in Fishers. His donation was among 171 donations they have received from Indiana donors since the program started last month. Right now, there is also an urgent need for blood donations across the state. As the pandemic continues, many Hoosiers are still staying at home, practicing social distancing and trying to avoid large crowds. You've likely seen some of those lines outside stores like Menards or Lowe's as people look to get new patio furniture, mulch, or even a new grill. A new service is now available in Indianapolis that helps you avoid going into the store. It's called Freight. The senior sales manager for the company describes it as similar to Uber Eats, but instead of bringing you food, they are bringing you those larger items that you buy at the store and can't fit in your car. You just need to buy the item and select that you are picking it up at the store.
So they're going to hold it, but what happens is once you do that, then you download our app or get on our app, enter that information, put a receipt number or whatever in there. You can even take a picture of the receipt if that's easier for you. And then once you click submit or accept, it goes right to the driver pool. And like I said, from that point, the driver shows up within 60 minutes. They go in, get your stuff, and they're headed straight to your house.
Freight has been operating in Indianapolis, working with stores like Sherwin-Williams, but they recently launched the consumer side of the business in response to the demand during the pandemic. Right now, they have over 80 vehicles working in the Indianapolis area. As the pandemic continues, many Hoosier families are facing challenges when it comes to access to food. Gleaner's Food Bank of Indiana has seen a drastic increase in the number of food insecure Hoosiers looking for help. Today, a large mobile food distribution event was held at the state fairgrounds. In March and April, 13.8 million pounds of food was distributed. That is more than double the amount during the same time last year. We talked to an organizer who says she hopes that folks receiving the food will be inspired by the charity.
I hope what they'll see is that there's just a lot of people that we're all in this together. We care about each other and we're going to get through it.
Leaders with Gleaner's Food Bank say part of their commitment during the pandemic is not only on the amount of food distributed, but on the nutritional value of that food. They say it's critical since food insecurity directly impacts the 10 most prevalent chronic health diseases and conditions, many of which put hungry Hoosiers at higher risk for contracting COVID-19. Today's weather was perfect to be outside by the pool, but as backyard pools start to open up during the pandemic and families continue to work from home, swimming safety experts are working to prevent tragic accidents from happening. May is Water Safety Awareness Month. We talked to the owner of British Swim School in Hamilton County, who says she understands distractions are at an all-time high as kids complete e-learning and parents work from home. And that is why the school launched a new initiative called the Backyard Pool Patrol. It calls on parents to teach their kids the Safe Swimmer Pledge. Never swim alone, never play or swim near drains, always dive in feet first, and obey pool rules.
So even though we do have those distractions and we're trying to figure out what that work-life balance looks like at home, we're still focusing on teaching those water safety skills, watching the water, making sure we know where our kids are, and talking with them about how water can be fun, but also how to be safe around it.
The owner of British Swim School says drowning remains the #1 cause of accidental death for children under 5 years old. The Backyard Pool Patrol initiative also reminds parents to have someone monitor the pool and watch children, install a fence around the pool or a way to alert you if your kids do get close to the water. And finally, remove distractions. Don't leave those rafts or flotation devices in or around the pool that could attract children. As the country peels back widespread shutdowns, new data shows the devastating economic toll of the pandemic. That story coming up. Kyle.
Things are fairly quiet across central Indiana this evening, but tomorrow there is a marginal risk across the entire state. We could have some stronger storms. A closer look at that timeline. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Make a donation or volunteer today.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
48 states have begun the process of reopening, but at least 4 of those states are seeing an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert with the details.
As parts of the country begin reopening, the CDC, with an alarming new estimate, models forecasting the number of deaths from the virus could reach 100,000 by June 1st. The pandemic has already taken a devastating toll on the economy, a 16% drop in retail sales in April, the worst in modern history. The clothing industry seeing an unprecedented decline of nearly 90% from last year. Some states allowing retail stores to reopen, but with curbside pickup only. Other stores requiring reservations, some malls limiting capacity, and some public beaches in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Delaware will be reopening for Memorial Day, but with restrictions.
At this point, concessions will not be operating. We don't want long lines of people waiting.
Sports are seeing a gradual return as well. Horse racing at Churchill Downs this weekend, but no spectators in the stands. NASCAR has 7 races scheduled over 11 days, beginning Sunday at Darlington Speedway in South Carolina. Tonight, LeBron James and former President Barack Obama will headline a nationally televised high school and college commencement to honor the class of 2020, which has missed out on traditional graduation celebrations. The travel industry continues to be one of the hardest hit by the pandemic. Some experts estimate airlines alone could lose $300 billion. The future of flying may include face masks, touchless kiosks, high-tech plane cleaning, and possibly temperature checks.
The physical distancing is going to be the biggest challenge, and that probably will be the cause of most delays.
As Americans work to figure out the new normal, President Trump remains optimistic about progress on a vaccine.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. That means big and it means fast. When I say quickly, we're looking to get it by the end of the year if we can. Maybe before.
But when the nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, was asked if a vaccine within a year or 2 was a long shot,
it's definitely not a long shot. I would think that it is more likely than not that we will.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington, D.C.
Andrew, thank you. As the state continues to reopen, families may be looking for a safe way to enjoy a night out of the house, and tonight is the perfect night for it. Troy Washington is working for you to show how the Tibbs Drive-In Theater is giving families an option everyone can enjoy.
Slowly but surely, things are opening again, but getting out of the car to sit inside of a theater still isn't an option right now. However, there's one that might be twice as fun for the whole family.
We came very close to selling out last night at half capacity, and that's about 740 cars.
So what happened last night?
We came really close to selling out.
So how many cars?
Yeah, we didn't. So 743 is what we can park at 50% capacity. So we had about 700 give or take cars come in last night.
Is this like the perfect scenario for people who want to get out, the house, which we've been cooped up for a while?
Yeah, so actually a lot of the feedback that we've gotten is the safe option. We had a lot of feedback last weekend, especially that people really felt safe in their cars.
Tibbs Drive-In Theater is back in business. In fact, it's the second weekend allowing families back in, and according to owners, business is booming.
We offered a discount ticket earlier in the month, kind of as an incentive for people to buy tickets in advance, and so it was $2 less expensive than the typical.
As the entire state continues to rebound from the pandemic, getting out to catch a movie gives folks a breath of fresh air, but a safe break from being cooped up inside. It's a combination of food and fun for the whole family. Not to mention right now there's a deal that owners say you can't beat.
We are trying to bring in some interesting repertory titles because obviously there's no new movies, and the earliest we heard new movies is July. So kind of bear with us. If you have any suggestions, feel free to send them to us. We're taking suggestions all the time.
While there aren't any new titles out right now, if you're feeling nostalgic, there's a spot right here for you once the sun goes down. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. And she is out at the drive-in. We will hear from some of those families enjoying a show coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. And Kyle, it is the perfect night to go to the drive-in. Beautiful day.
Yeah, we had some very nice weather, temperatures that made their way around 80 degrees in Indianapolis, and we still see several spots sitting at 80, like Greencastle and Bloomington at 80 degrees, 83 for you in Bedford right now. Things are fairly quiet across central Indiana. We've had a couple of isolated showers popping up, and you can see a couple of those right now between Gas City and Marion, and these are actually lifting to the north. So in Marion, Indiana, you are going to get a brief downpour as those slowly trek to the north. Well, Mikey is hoping to get one more walk-in today. Jeff and Karen say that he goes on multiple walks and loves this warmer weather. So I think this forecast is for him. I think he can get that walk-in this evening. Expecting mainly dry conditions through 9 o'clock with temperatures in the middle 70s. Then we'll gradually see those rain chances increasing just a bit. Let's show you that with TrueCast, and this is at 10 o'clock tonight. Few of those showers along and south of I-70 around the Terre Haute area moving through Nashville, but you can see that the best focus for any wet weather is going to be over the western portion of the state here as we go into this evening and tonight. By 3 o'clock in the morning, some rain lifting through the Lafayette, Monticello, and Kokomo areas. We're not anticipating any strong or severe storms as we go through tonight and into tomorrow morning. Things are fairly dry once again. It's going to stay warm out there. Temperatures in the middle 60s, so if you are heading to the drive-in, may need the fan on in the car. We'll have a little bit of a breeze out there. Temperature-wise on Sunday, once again, we'll see those numbers climbing through the 70s, close to 80 degrees, and I think a lot of dry time. Most of Sunday now looks like it will be dry before those rain chances return. A high temperature of 82 Sunday afternoon in Columbus, 77 in Lafayette, and 81 in Muncie. TrueCast at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So as we go through the day, again, I don't think we're going to see a lot of rainfall here, maybe some spotty showers into the afternoon. And then by 9 o'clock in the evening, we notice this line of thunderstorms back into Illinois. TrueCast throughout the afternoon has been slowing this down a little bit, only bringing it to around Terre Haute, Crawfordsville, Petersburg, and Lafayette as we get around midnight tomorrow night. And then it's still kind of holding there over the western portion of the state before it starts to spin through the rest of central Indiana through the day on Monday. So with that line of thunderstorms tomorrow night, there is that marginal risk. Some of the storms could have gusty winds, and with the slow movement, some spots could see 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. So we'll watch for some localized flooding issues. Cooler and damp to start the week here. As we go into Monday, we're still going to have some of those rain showers around, but look at temperatures. No longer around 80 degrees. Instead, we will be in the 60s. 7-day planning forecast shows a high of 66 on Monday, 65 on Tuesday, both days with some scattered showers. Looks like we'll dry things things out toward the middle of the week, but not really warm things up here until we get to Friday and Saturday. Right now, next weekend coming in with a high of 80.
And I'm Dave First. The first major sport to get back at it comes this weekend. NASCAR is at Darlington. An Indiana native will take part. Tony Stewart will be there as well. His race team coming up in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
A lot of race fans are looking forward to tomorrow. That is when NASCAR becomes the first major sport to return after quarantine. An Indiana native will be among the drivers racing at Darlington. It's all back on track. Sports director Dave First with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
Cold custard review.
It's been a non-stop series of finding things to do. Stewart Haas driver Cole Custer making cold custard, or Xfinity Series teammate and Mitchell, Indiana native Chase Briscoe getting full use of his virtual racing rig. There's light at the end of the tunnel for NASCAR. This weekend, it's back to work for real.
It's almost go time. Are you guys ready?
It's been fun, got some home projects done, and stuff like that. But I'm just ready to get back racing.
Yeah, we're all ready to go. I mean, it's been fun. It was really fun the first couple weeks, but at least on my end, I'm getting burnt out. I'm ready to go back and do the real thing. You can always substitute.
The beard game is strong, though, Chase.
The beard game's strong. It's getting cut off.
It's about time. NASCAR has set up its own standard of safety. The drivers won't have any face-to-face interaction with officials or crewmen. They'll head to the cars 10 minutes before the race, climb in, and go. No practice, no qualifying. They won't even arrive at the track until race day morning.
On a serious note, any apprehension about getting back into it?
What's going to be strange compared to normal is not having fans there. You don't get to see all the fans in the stands.
I feel like at the track, we're going to be pretty safe. Like I said, even if you win, there's no high fives, no hugging, no nothing. So we're all going to be doing everything we can because we all want to go back racing as well.
It's also a part of a bigger picture for Tony Stewart's team. The series stopped in March. The team quickly turned its attention to making webcam carts for local doctors to use in intensive care units where remote monitoring of COVID patients is key.
Obviously, we have a lot of fabricators. We have a lot of CNC machines, so we can make just about anything.
Between doing that and then even we've been using the race haulers to transport stuff just because we can put so much stuff on them.
A true road to recovery, and NASCAR will begin it.
Do you feel like the eyes of the world are going to be on you guys for the next couple days?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're the only sport, especially major sport, that's going to be going on.
It's what we do for a living. It's what we, dream to do as a kid. So I think we always want to be in a race car. But it's definitely going to be stressful with no practice or qualifying, but we'll make it happen.
And fans, and maybe new ones, so many, can't wait. Day First, RTV6 Sports.
Who will be the next American Idol? We'll find out Sunday night at 8 p.m. right here on RTV6. ABC's Jason Nathanson has a preview of the season finale.
It's been a one-of-a-kind season for American Idol. No big audience-filled live shows, the contestants singing from home.
Honestly, it's weird when you're relaxing space turns into your American Idol set. Some folks
Julia Gargano has a solid shot at winning the title, at least according to Judge Katy Perry.
I would say Johnny West and Julia Gargano. Johnny sounds like he's ready to go pro. He is pro. He's pro. So pro.
Wheels go round and round. It doesn't feel like a competition, especially with what's going on. I think there's bigger fish to fry in the sense that we need to just connect with people and get them out of their quarantine zone.
Sunday night, the top 7 will be cut down to 5 at the beginning of the show, with the East Coast voting live to pick the next American Idol.
It could easily be Francisco,
right?
Or it could be Louis Knight, or Arthur.
For me, Arthur Gunn, he has that sound all by himself.
Yes, you want her.
It's definitely a great honor, and the next thing I'll be thinking about is just making music.
And don't count out fan favorite Just Sam, who's not just doing this for herself.
My grandmother thinks that, things like this can't happen for her. But if it's happening for me, oh yeah, it's happening for her.
And whether it's Just Sam or Johnny West or any of the other final 7, Judge Lionel Richie says, in a way, it almost doesn't matter who wins.
they're all going to come down with careers. I'm going to tell you this right now. Just
Come
everybody
up with careers for sure.
Yeah, it's just there.
The American Idol season finale airs Sunday night on ABC. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Sunday comes in as another nice and warm day for us. I think much of the day is going to be dry. Those temperatures will climb through the 70s. As we get into the evening hours, a little better chance for some showers and storms in the forecast. Those showers will continue as we go into the early part of the week ahead, with highs in the 60s before the numbers start to rally a little bit heading into next weekend.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tonight at 11. Have a great night.